Warframe has been growing consistently since its release back in 2013 with no signs of slowing down. Despite the competition, it's the only game in the genre that hasn't stagnated or even declined in player numbers throughout the years. It's on its way to overtake Destiny 2 if it hasn't already, and with Destiny being perceived as the main alternative, this will be a huge milestone for the game and the community. Now, why is that? What is it that makes Warframe so successful? You have all these other games out there and they keep coming out, with The Last Descendant freshly released, yet Warframe seems to be moving forward somehow unaffected. To answer this, we have to look at the things Warframe does right, and the first one is gameplay. Although Warframe is classified as a looter shooter, it doesn't play like one as much. For all the time I spent in the game, it feels more like a third-person ARPG. You create your build, become stronger and go on to mindlessly defeat hordes of enemies. If you look at any other titles in the genre, apart from holding a gun, they don't look much alike, and this is a good thing. People love diversity, but they also like the things they know, and Warframe did just that. It took a good recipe and added its own flavor to it, which created a very supported and devoted community. When it comes to gameplay, the developers aren't afraid to experiment and try new things. Whereas most games don't deviate from their original formula and they give you the same expansion with different characters every 2 years, Warframe takes risks. The Duviri Paradox was a completely different experience than what people were used to, with different style and gameplay mechanics. It might not be everyone's cup of tea. I, for one, wasn't a huge fan, but you can't not respect the effort they put in to innovate. And it was overall very well received. This definitely makes Warframe stand out and gets people's appreciation. Another contributing factor is that it somehow managed to avoid unnecessary conflict. In a world where everyone has access to a platform to share their thoughts and games get bashed left and right, Warframe is moving forward almost unscathed. Any issues with the game tend to be very well contained within the community and they don't spill out to affect potential new players. If you ask anyone what they know about Warframe, they will probably say something like, "I heard it's a good game, just a bit difficult to start." The same can't be said about World of Warcraft as an example, where people that haven't even played the game have second thoughts because of what they heard. Yes, drama is publicity, but it also leads to a volatile community. Today they love the game, tomorrow they hate it. Warframe doesn't have this. The only spikes in numbers that you see are larger update releases that spark curiosity. Apart from that, it's just organic growth, no inflated numbers, and this means a healthy community, which is reflected in the numbers. There's also the monetization. This is a very discussed topic in gaming nowadays, since shady tactics are being used by game studios to try and make you spend more and more. Warframe is no saint when it comes to this, and there is room for improvement, especially when it comes to the information available for new players. But despite that, in the grand scheme of things, it uses one of the least predatory monetization systems. You can get premium currency entirely in-game, and you can get in large quantities because it can be traded in exchange for items from other players. You can use third-party websites and applications which enable easier transactions, and you can even purchase cosmetics this way, which is more than most games do. On top of that, it's also entirely free. No subscriptions, no paid DLCs or expansions, and even the battle pass is free for everyone. I guess this is another reason why Warframe doesn't get much bad publicity. Even if they don't like the game, most people still respect the effort and thought that gets put into it to make it work. This is the first game where I heard people say, "I always buy Platinum when I get a discount just out of respect for the company." This should be a very good indicator for how appreciated the monetization actually is. On a side note though, I do feel like I've been getting a discount every week lately, and I really hope those people don't still buy every time they get one, because that would add up to a lot of money. The last thing that has to get mentioned is the developers, because I feel like they play a huge role in the game's success in the way that they interact with the people. I think it's fair to say that Digital Extremes is not that small of a company anymore, but they still haven't lost touch with the game or the community. One thing they have always been appreciated for is their transparency. Whenever I watch a dev stream, it doesn't feel like a corporatist presentation. It feels more like a bunch of people coming together to tell us what they've done, what they haven't done, and what they're working on. They seem genuinely interested in their work, and even if it's all an act, appearances matter and the community trusts them and feels listened to for the most part. I believe all these things, along with the ongoing development of the game, is what makes it successful and keeps it on an upward trajectory. It might not be the fastest growth, but it surely is a healthy one. Thank you very much for watching. I really enjoyed making this video and I want to keep making content in this direction, so if this was something you enjoyed as well, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.